Hi, I'm an unsuccessful NFL coach, and I need to go now. Cole Sports presents on the daily. Well, I hope your weekend was great. Cole Johnson's here on the mic, as always, on the Daily Sun Tap, presented by Cole Sports. And if you haven't already liked this video, I want to hear what you have to say, of course. Comment below. And don't forget to subscribe to this video and get notifications as to all and any premieres of any video that comes from this channel. And if you want this wonderful shirt that you're seeing right before your very eyes, the description below has that shirt. Now, of course, you know what we do on Monday. We have to have a comprehensive list in order to describe what we're doing. And we're now virtually 3 weeks into the NFL season. We have one more game left to complete week number 3. And there's 4 coaches, 4, that I really think in my heart need to sign the pink slip right now. And which 4 are they? Well, welcome to what we always do on every Monday, the list. Four NFL coaches. This is what we're going to do. We're going to list each one in order. I'll give you an understanding as to why I really believe they need to head for the exits. Why the owners of these teams, the Lions, the Texans, the Jets, and the Falcons, need to get rid of their current head coach right now. And the first on this list, Matthew Patricia. Now, it almost needs to have another coach to set this up. Now, he is a Belichick disciple. He led or was the figurehead, I guess, in the defenses that were in the latter part of the Patriots' glory days, the current glory days they've had, the championship run that they have had as of late. But that's not the coach I want to compare him to. No. I want to compare him to the previous Lions head coach, Jim Caldwell. Yes, the same one who led the Colts to the Super Bowl and the same one who led the Lions to multiple, at least last game for the division crown games and playoff appearances. Now, the problem with him, though, was they didn't get a chance to advance past the wild card round, or they didn't clinch an NFC North championship. So I understand that. The problem, though, is the following. Caldwell, before he got fired, the year before he got fired was 9-7. 9. Remember that number, 9, because that's the same number of victories. Oh, I'm sorry. No, it's now 10. But coming into this year, Patricia had the same amount of victories as Caldwell did the very last year he coached the Lions. Now, the Lions won. They squeaked by and beat the Cardinals. But I still feel as though he needs to get on a bus out of Detroit. Let me see that. Patricia, you're wearing a shirt that says Detroit versus everybody. No, that shirt should say Detroit versus Patricia. You need to go, son. Coach number 2 that needs to get out now, Bill O'Brien, or as people call him, Bob. Now, this almost pains me to say, he has been the most successful head coach that the Houston Texans has had in their almost 20-year history of their franchise. And he also is a Belichick disciple. In fact, Belichick has glowing things to say about O'Brien, saying he's a great coach. And he rarely says that about too many, but he's always been high on him ever since he was a quarterbacks coach. And pseudo offensive coordinator uh, during the early 2010s before he took the head coaching job for the Texans. Oh, I'm sorry. He also is the general manager of the Texans too. Unfortunately, he, in his general manager haste, has done moves that has actually hurt him and hurt the team. One being trying to undercut the former defensive lineman, defensive end, Jadeveon Clowney, calling him a linebacker. And the reason why that distinction is valid is because when they wanted to franchise tag him, the franchise tag for a defensive end is higher than that of a linebacker. So a little bit of cutting that money meant that Clowney wanted to have other things to do and go elsewhere. And I understand that. And DeAndre Hopkins. Now, it was said that the two of them didn't get along, O'Brien and Hopkins. However, Hopkins always competed. Hopkins had love for the city. Hopkins had love for the team. He didn't have really any issues whatsoever in terms of what he was doing, except he wanted to get paid like the big time wide receivers are. And I sort of agree with that because he is the best receiver in the NFL today. Yes, I'll say that again. DeAndre Hopkins, or Nuke, is the best wide receiver in the game today. Now he's with the Cardinals, as Clowney is with the Titans. But this lays out why O'Brien needs to go. This is the 2016 divisional round game against the Patriots. And of course, they got bounced by the eventual world champs that year. 2017, they drafted Deshaun Watson, the current Texans quarterback. He got injured before halfway through the season. Another reason why O'Brien needs to go, because the offensive line sucks. And they didn't make it at all to the playoffs in 2017. They were 3-4 when the injury happened, and then they just circled the drain thereafter. Then came 2018, where they won the AFC South, but got bounced 21-7 by the Colts. And then 2019. Now they repeated, they won the AFC South again. They erased a 16-point deficit and beat the Bills in the wild card round. And they got a chance to play the Chiefs, where they were up 24-0 with 10 minutes to go in the second quarter. And then the Chiefs outscored the Texans. This isn't a misnomer. 51-7. Yes, 51-7 in the following 50 minutes. The Chiefs outscored the Texans. Of course, they got bounced. The Texans, 51-31. And they have had no such luck playing the Chiefs again, playing the Ravens, and playing the Steelers. Oh, for the season thus far. Enough of O'Brien. Let's get to the next coach that needs to go, Adam Gase. Ah! Oh my gosh, that is a horror show. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's not talk about what he looks like. Let's talk about what he has done or what he hasn't done. Now, his claim to fame, is basically being the quarterback whisperer, the offensive coordinator during the time Peyton Manning was the quarterback of the Broncos teams that went to the Super Bowl following the 2014-2015 seasons. Now, apparently, he was an innovative mind. He wowed a lot of owners and front office personnel, and the Jets decided to hop on him. And this was how he looked when he took the job officially as the Jets head coach. Now, in his rookie season as the head coach of the team, he already has gotten the hot water because the big-time free agent signee last year that came up on board was Le'Veon Bell. The running back was said by Gase, or at least it was allegedly said by Gase, that he did not want Bell on the team for whatever reason. And of course, that type of friction sort of is making, I guess, a lot of Jets fan and a lot of NFL fan and even a lot of, I think, personnel a little salty in the mouth when it comes to Gase. Now, They started off slow last year, and the reason why I think people is because they came back and they finished with a respectable 79 record, and I say respectable from the standpoint that they were, I think at one time, what, 2-6 or 2-7. They were really circling the drain hard, and the Jets made a feverish push for respectability. Jets respectability. That is an absolute oxymoron. Enough of the Jets. I need viewership. Okay, the last coach that needs to be gone today. ATL, I think you'll agree with me, Dan Quinn. Now, his claim to fame was that he was the defensive coordinator of the Seattle Seahawks. Now, you can say, well, okay, he's defense coordinator of the Seahawks. No, he was the defense coordinator of the Seahawks during the Legion of Boom days, when the defense was at its zenith. The defense was at its best in their prime. And that had that impressive Super Bowl effort against the aforementioned Broncos. Yeah, that same defense. Well, Quinn was brought in to plug holes in the defense that the Falcons had. In the first 2 years, it looked like they were on their way. And so they slowly built. In 2016, they won the NFC South. They won the NFC altogether. And I'm sorry, Falcons fan, you may need to turn away from this graphic right here. And ever since that game and that moment, and for those who don't know, 1st February in 2017, Super Bowl that year, the Patriots and the Falcons were in Houston. They fought it out. The Falcons got to a 28-3 lead, only to see the confetti fall for the Patriots in the first ever overtime game of the Super Bowl, 34-28. One of the things I love about that moment was seeing Lil Bow Wow talk mad noise about the Falcons doing major damage, and then an hour later, just being absolutely apoplectic and perplexed, and seeing how horrible the team had just sank. Now, the following year, they didn't get quite as far. They did get a playoff bid, and they even went to LA and won in the wild card round against the Rams. They came within about 10 yards of advancing to the NFC Championship game that year, but the Eagles, the eventual world champs that year, upended them 15-10. And then the consecutive 7-9 seasons followed. And now we're at this season where an uninspired effort against the Seahawks, especially on defense, they come from ahead loss to the Bears at home, and then go. And when you have teams that don't execute like the Lions, the Jets, the Texans, and the Falcons haven't, then you have those issues, and you're going to continue to have those issues until you get rid of the problem. And for all those teams I just mentioned, the problem is the head coach. Now, if there's a head coach that I missed, or if you want to agree with me and say any of those four do need to go, well, like this video. And I want to hear what you have to say. Comment below. Give me a coach that needs to go right now. Comment below, and don't forget to subscribe to this video and hit the notification bell to get any and all premieres of Cole Sports on the daily, and another thing, and any other content or topics that comes from this channel. Well, thank you so much once again. I appreciate you as always. And I'm Cole Johnson, always thankful that you're watching this show. And this has been yet another installment of Cole Sports on the visual and on the daily.